Okay, this is my review of an Agile AL-2000 Les Paul copy. It's a great guitar for the price. I just got mine the other day, and right out of the box it was playing great, sounded great. I did a little work to set the guitar up to my preferences. I adjusted the action a little bit, sanded or filed down the fret ends just to give a little bit more of a worn-in feel. Out of the factory, it was still a little rough for my liking. So this just gives it a smoother feeling. Definitely not something that's required. But the guitar just required just a little bit of adjustment so that it was to my liking. The guitar stays in tune really well. It has Grover tuning heads on it, which is pretty standard on high-end guitars, especially Gibsons. They do a great job of staying in tune. I found this to be very interesting because Epiphones don't even have Grovers on them most of the time, and usually for these low-price guitars, that's what you're mostly concerned about, is it just not going to stay in tune. But this one really holds up quite well. You can really wail on it. Stays in tune really nice. The one thing that I probably will change at some point is it has a graphite nut up here, and I'll probably switch that out to like a bone nut, something a bit harder that'll give more sustain. But for now it's fine. It's keeping the guitar in tune, and it's set up to a nice height. But again, that's just one of my preferences to switch that. The neck is a slimmer profile for Les Paul type guitars. It's more along the lines of a 60s style neck. I prefer the thicker styles like the 50s, but again, for not having the chance to actually play it, it's fine. It's definitely playable. I'm actually playing a bit faster than I normally do because of the neck profile, but again, I just prefer a chunkier style neck. But otherwise, still very playable. Not a bad point at all. Just something to make you aware of. Moving down the guitar here, the only thing that's really different, aside from the headstock shape, about the body of this guitar is the horn here is a bit different than a Les Paul shape. It's a little smaller. So that's the only other cosmetic difference. But checking the specs against the Les Paul, everything, the bridge pieces, the pickups, and all the electronics are all pretty much to spec of a regular high-end Gibson Les Paul, so you can swap out parts pretty easily. I've been doing a little bit of research on that, and the measurements are exact. The pickups here aren't the highest quality pickups, but I was actually quite surprised how well they sounded. I did do a bit of pickup height adjustments to get them a little closer to the strings, get a little bit more punchier of a sound, to get that kind of burst bucker PAF sound out of it. But out of the box, they're fine. I may replace these at some point, maybe with actual Gibson pickups, but for now they sound really good. The only time they don't sound good is when I'm comparing it directly to a Gibson Les Paul. That's the only time you really notice a difference. But on its own, it really sounds great. So I'm going to run through the pickups and do a little bit of a demo here for you. Okay, starting off in the treble position. Okay, going to the middle position here. And now for the rhythm position. just going down the neck a little bit. Middle position. And back to the rhythm position. Whoop, treble position. Okay, I kicked in a little overdrive here so you can hear what this sounds like with a little bit dirtier of a sound. That was the treble position. Moving to the middle position. And moving back up to the rhythm position.